That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 88 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and hollow?
Ooh.
See, that gives you absolutely nothing. You have no idea what's coming. It's just a random adjective that I made up, and it may or may not be connected to my story.
Name three things that are hollow.
Sleepy.
Okay.
Trees with dead people in them.
Yeah.
And watermelon. Watermelons aren't hollow.
They sure as hell sound like it.
I don't even know how to tell if it's a good watermelon or not. Like
you mash it with a big old mallet.
That one's bad. Why is it bad? It's all over the floor and smashed up. That's why it's
everywhere.
You could eat it, but it's gonna taste like that floor. But before we get into these longer stories for you that we have today, we're gonna catch you up on any of the news you might have missed. And I have a news story right here. As woman wakes up in body bag after mistakenly being declared dead. So that's like my worst nightmare.
Happens all the time.
I mean, I feel like that's like the main reason people are like, I'm not an organ donor. And you're like, oh, why? They're like, they'll try to like pull my plug and steal my organs before I'm dead. And I'm like, I don't know. I think you
I
have
never thought about that.
That was the reason when I was younger, because I thought it's like when you think quicksand's gonna be a bigger part of your life than it really is.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same reason where you're like, I don't know, I might be in a situation where like I'm on life support and they're like, well, he has organs and we want him, so we're gonna pull the plug. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you have family there to be like, no, or just like write a note that says like, don't do that, you know. So,
Please no.
But please don't leave my organs alone. But this lady in Coronel Oviedo in Paraguay, she went to the hospital with high blood pressure that was increasing, and she went in to go get checked out, and she wasn't feeling too hot. And she's 50 years old, and apparently, I don't know what happened along the lines of like, they make it sound like it was really negligent doctors, like the doctor just didn't check on her, or like maybe he just like felt her pulse and it wasn't strong or something like that, and
yeah,
they're like, oh, she's dead, so he just like signed a death certificate and she was like kind of unconscious or something, and he just put her in a body bag and sent her to the morgue, and the mortician, he was transferring her, and all of a sudden the body bag started to move, which is like my second fucking worst fear. And he opened, and the lady was just in there, like, naked, like, what's going on? And it's like, I don't know. So they brought her back to a different hospital, thank God. And they don't know how she's doing. They said it's, like, unclear how she's doing right now. But hopefully she's not back in the body bag, to tell you the truth. But
yeah,
that hospital is going to be dealing with some shit now. I just mean, you can't, like, I don't know how they check if somebody's dead. I know they used to, like, if you're hooked up to a machine and you don't have the little, the heart rate going, then that's, like, pretty clear. But if you're not hooked up to a machine, do they just, like, check your pulse? And if your pulse isn't there, they're, like, declare them dead. You know what I mean?
There has to be at least 12 steps to determining if people are dead or not.
They used to do something back in the day to declare if you were dead or not, I think, where they would put a pin underneath your toenail or something like that and like push it in, and if it like the pain itself would wake you up if you were like unconscious or something. It's kind of like smelling salts or something like that, but like 1742 version of that where they just fucking jam a nail in your toenail. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how they used to check. And then sometimes they weren't sure. So, like, we talked about how people got buried alive, so they would just, like, put a little string going down to their coffin with a bell, and you would ring the bell if you fucking woke up in your coffin, because they weren't, like, aware of what comas were and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is fucking terrifying.
I wonder how they first found out about comas.
I mean, I bet when they first found out, the guy was like, oh, fuck, like I recognize a lot of these symptoms, and a lot of those people are buried already. Fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, at least she's still alive, hopefully. But
Yeah, probably.
it's interesting nonetheless. But David, do you have a story for me?
Yeah, so the Texas governor, upon his reopening of the state, said there are more important things than living.
I'd be like, name one.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he name one?
I don't think so.
Fuck. I couldn't tell you one. I don't know.
He's trying to come up with some right now, though.
He's like living for Jesus, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's the same thing."
Well, God, we're in Texas, aren't we?
I didn't know they opened Texas back up.
Yeah, sounds like they're trying to.
I mean, well, there's a lot of people trying to do shit like that right now, where they're like, "I need fertilizer." I'm like, I think you can still get fertilizer. Like, I don't know what the big deal. And like, don't you need? And it's
Just make your own, you coward.
a lot of the people who are doing it seem retired. I'm like, you're just gonna sit at home anyway. Get the fuck back inside your house. Like,
Exactly.
you're the most at risk, and you're the ones who are just gonna not really change your lifestyle after this. So I mean, what's the big deal? You just can't get certain things that you want at the moment. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well,
Go get your third McChicken for the day, Arnold.
But I have another news story right here, and it is actually close to home for you, David.
Okay.
Figuratively and literally, as British town uses Oregon's exploding whale fiasco to teach coronavirus social distancing lesson.
Oh, yeah.
So
Did they blow up a whale and say if you get splattered, you're in harm's way?
Not exactly. That's what I was kind of expecting, like a faux whale explosion to be like, look how germs spread, and you're like, that's not how this works. But apparently, this Doncaster Council, they for those who don't know, David covered the story a while back of this exploding whale fiasco that happened on the beach in Oregon, where a whale was beached and they didn't know how to get it back into the ocean. They didn't know how to clean it up. They didn't know what to do with it. And basically what ended up happening is they had the bright idea to just chock fill it with dynamite, and too much dynamite at that, after experts being like, hey, that's too much dynamite. And the guy's like, whatever, the more dynamite the better. And they blew the fuck out of this whale, and like chunks went everywhere, spray went everywhere, like it like stunk up the entire town. Giant chunks of whale like crushed people's cars, and like I think people had to like be inside for like I don't know how many days, but
it
was
smelled
just like,
bad.
Yeah, it was like really, really bad. And so they posted, they said on their Twitter, in November 1970, officials in Oregon, USA, decided to blow up a rotting whale carcass. The whole thing went horribly wrong. Why do we bring this up? Well, this story can teach us 3 things about coronavirus. And the 3 things they posted on their Twitter was oh, now I lost it.
No.
Oh, shoot. What the hell? I went to a different oh, here we go. Number one, it says, don't ignore the advice that experts give you. They know what they're talking about. So, like I said, the demolition experts were like, I think that you said that there weren't any demolition experts that were doing it. So they just hired the guy who was like head of road construction or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then he was just, like, throwing dynamite at it, and they're just like, hey, don't put that much dynamite, and he's like, no, it's fine. So he ignored the advice of experts, obviously. Then they said, number 2, sometimes it's better to just sit at home and do nothing than go outside and do something ridiculous. Let nature take its course, which is exactly what they probably should have done with that whale carcass, just, like, leave it there until all the birds picked it clean or something, till it was just bones, and you could just huck a bone. You could make a nice little bone boat or something.
Boomerang.
Bone boomerang is always fun. That's like apocalypse shit, you know? That's like tie a couple razor blades to that, you got yourself a bone razor blade boomerang. And then number 3, it says, when you ignore expert advice and act like an idiot, you cover everyone else with decaying whale blubber. Hashtag stay at home and stop being selfish. I would have said shellfish, but...
Oh, that's a good one.
That would have been really good. But that one's a little bit more, whale oriented. But I think we get the idea. Just stay inside, and it connects nicely to your story of everybody trying to go outside early. Just like wait a little bit longer, wait for people to say yay or nay, and don't go fucking sticking dynamite up a whale's butthole. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So
Not more. You don't need to say anything more.
now, David, do you have another story for us?
I do, and it actually has to do with a news story that you had either a week or two ago. And
we're piggybacking off each other.
yeah, and that is family names baby sanitizer amid coronavirus pandemic.
I mean, wait, Santa, first name
Sanitizer.
First name Santa, last name Tizer. No, okay, so that's the first whole name.
Yeah, sanitizer.
I mean, it's better than COVID Bryant, right?
Well, yeah, it's a family in India, so maybe it sounds better for like their language than it does in English.
Yeah, maybe it's just like where we hear like a beautiful word in French or something, and we're like, ooh, that sounds so pretty, and like it means pile of shit.
Well,
it's
dead,
like
my
dead feces covered rat.
my dog's name means bear in Japanese, and it means something awful in I think Swahili.
Oh, didn't you say it was like a hateful slur or term or something like that?
Yeah. It aims towards one of the gender's sexual organs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. You named him because of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
You know me,
I'm making
I
sure.
do yearly trips to Swaziland.
I mean, they always say you learn all the bad words first.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Well, that kid's gonna have a tough time, but if no one, knows.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Do they have the same word for sanitizer?
Now that I'm scrolling down, there's another story within this story saying that a couple in Chhattisgarh, never heard of it. It has two H's at the beginning. That's pretty wild. It's a state in central India, and they named their newborn twins Corona and COVID.
No.
COVID's
Why
the
are
boy,
people
Corona's the
doing
girl.
that shit?
Yeah. It ain't good.
Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's bad.
It'd be one thing
mean,
if it was like a good, like if the coronavirus was a good thing, then yeah, but no.
Yeah, like if they were born during eclipse and they named them like Corona, because that's like supposed to be like the ring around the eclipse, like when the sun's poking around the edge of the moon.
Yeah, it means like
solar
crown
eclipse.
or halo.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if you're like, oh, he's born during eclipse, his name's Corona, like that's kind of cool. But still, like there's the beer there too, so it's like it's a lose-lose. Like I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Jesus. Name him Fauci.
Whatever happened to Steve and Susie, huh? Whatever happened to the good old days?
Anyway, well, we should probably get into these stories before I get even more heated about this fucking news. I'm getting so angry in my hot house.
Today the news is really just pissing me off.
My house is hot, my news is bad and expensive. News should be free.
News is free. Just like porn. Porn's free, news is free. What are you gonna start making me pay premium prices for the oxygen?
Food is free.
Food's free.
Food should be free.
So should
Food is free.
high-speed internet should be free. So should my Netflix and my HBO accounts. Should all be
5G
free.
for free. 5G for free. Anyway, let's move on. So before we get into these stories, we like to give a nice little shout out to Spring Heel Jack, our sponsor. And like we said, we are nothing without our coffee, and you are nothing without your coffee.
Just a shell of a man.
I don't want to make assumptions, but you are nothing without your coffee. Okay, so you need it now more than ever, because once this quarantine's lifted, the playing field is leveled, and now you could be the next CEO, because CEOs have lost they're not CEOs anymore. So whoever gets out there quicker to Don't listen to me.
You the C in CEO. You know what that C stands for?
Is it coffee?
It stands for coffee.
I'm just saying, if you're a quick worker, you might be able to work your way up because everyone's taking a break. Everyone's on a vacation mode, vacation mind, and it's up to you to get into that mindset quicker than everybody else. And you need some coffee to do it. Okay?
Yeah, people are on their heels.
Exactly.
Get them quick.
Get on the tips of the toes and get that coffee in your body. So go check out springheeljack.coffee to go get yourself re-upped on your beans and grind them up and liquefy them and get all hippity-hoppity hyper. And go get them, champ. And before we also get into these stories, we want to give another little shout-out to our sponsor. So here you go.
Warning, you will be offended podcast.
Hey guys, my name's Jerry.
And I'm Amanda.
And we are the host of Warning You Will Be Offended podcast, where we pretty much say whatever the hell we want. We don't care who gets offended, including yourself.
Yeah, so if you're someone that needs to edit themselves around family, friends, co-workers, we're that podcast you can listen to and laugh out loud with us.
And we like to discuss a little bit of everything, a lot of fun stories that are going on in the news, a lot of stupid criminal stuff, and we do the fun fact of the week. Amanda, do you have a fun fact that you can share with us right now?
Approximately half of Australia's koala population has a strand of chlamydia. While different to the strand that affects humans, if a koala urinates on a person, there's a chance you can get an infection.
So that is absolutely incredible, and that's what you get if you listen to our podcast every week. So don't be afraid. Don't be politically correct. Come listen to our podcast and have a few hours every month to where you actually feel like you can be yourself.
So come on in and join us.
Now, David, as you know, we can't travel right now. We've already mentioned that, okay?
Yeah,
you get to stay inside. And even if you wanted to travel, nothing is even open due to this virus. But what if I told you there was a place untouched by sickness, untouched by pollution, untouched by humans that we may be able to travel to, David? What if I told you that?
Huh?
What if I told you that?
I would be mind blown.
So, let me continue. Well, David, it's time to get our hard hats on and our pickaxes out, because today I will be telling you about the theory of the hollow earth.
Oh.
Do you know anything about this hollow earth?
You know, I have done my fair. Once upon a time, I did my fair share of research. But you know, like I've said multiple times, I have the mind of a goldfish. So things leave my mind just about as soon as they go in there.
So it's kind of, the science behind it is a little convoluted because everybody has different theories, but the overarching theory is that beneath our upper crust where we live, there are different other crusts or levels to this earth where other civilizations live, ranging from mole people to more beautiful, smarter races to, you know, just demons and creatures and goblins. You know, everybody kind of has their own thing going on. But we'll get into that right now because it spans across a lot of different cultures. So the theory of the hollow earth has been around for centuries and has spanned many cultures, like I said. From the Greek underworld to the Christian hell to the Nordic Svartafaraheim, I'm guessing. There have been many iterations of the carved-out sphere, making it almost impossible to say where the idea actually originated from. One of the more notable versions of the hollow earth, though, comes from a story many are familiar with by Italian poet and storyteller Dante Alighieri, and it's called Inferno. Are you familiar with...
He sounds smart. Or is this Dante's Inferno?
It is Dante's Inferno.
Okay, I never heard his last name, but I'm somewhat familiar with Dante's Inferno.
Alighieri. He's Italian.
Yeah.
So the story depicts Dante's journey into the earth, where he must travel through the 9 circles of hell's torment in order to get to purgatory, then heaven. And it's kind of weird because it is a story, but they call it like an epic poem because, you know, I think you could just get away with doing that stuff back in the day where you're like, it's a poem, and you're like, You know, like every Shakespeare thing, you're like, iambic pentameter, and you're like, I don't know what that means. And it's like, just shut up and read it. So, when Dante finally gets to the ninth circle, he finds a giant frozen lake with the worst of the worst frozen inside the lake's water. In the center of the lake is the devil, a giant winged creature with 3 faces frozen up to his waist and trapped forever within the ice. It is said that the entrance to the center of the earth was actually created when Satan fell from the heavens and crashed into the once solid earth, creating a giant hole. But others seem to disagree with not only where the entrance to the center of the earth is located, but also what is in there. So in Christianity, they just believe that's like, oh, hell is beneath us. You know, it's hot down there and you can't get to it, and you know, it's hell. Which I guess makes sense. Heaven's above, then hell's naturally below. But in other cultures, it's very different. For instance, Central Asian Buddhists have a much different idea of what lies beneath our feet. Instead of a hellscape full of torment and pestilence, they picture that land as a much more wonderful place known as Agartha. You see, Agartha is supposedly a place where beings are more beautiful and much wiser than we are, and which has a king that has the power to read the human soul.
Oh.
I think I might be from Agartha.
Yeah, probably.
People always say, you are more beautiful. You are so beautiful, it looks like you came from underground. And I said, thank you.
Yeah, you got earthworms crawling out of your nose. You look like you've been buried.
I say, thank you. And they say, get the fuck away from me, you damn dirty ape. And I run back into my cave. So I just think it's really interesting that the king can read your human soul, which I guess is like, he's just like, everyone's nice down there, because if the king looks at you and go, bad soul, we should probably light him on fire. You know, then they're not there anymore. So
yeah,
it's fair. You made him king for a reason. I get it. So for thousands of years, Tibetan scholars, besides teaching about an inner world, say they are in contact with this king of the inner world, or supreme ruler for the entire planet, whom the Dalai Lama is a representative for the outside world. So the Dalai Lama is actually the representative and, you know, I guess spokesperson for that inner king, which is very interesting because I didn't know that. I just knew that the Dalai Lama was a reincarnation of a person over and over again, but they also say that he's also like a representative of the higher class inside planet people. You know what I mean? Agartha.
Yeah.
So they also speak and write about tunnels that connect Tibet with the inner world, which the Buddhists they protect, saying that there are many others scattered across the earth, and this is interesting, such as those found under the Great Pyramids of Egypt and South America. So they're saying that is actually, both those locations are entrances into the center hollow earth, which actually is like the most intriguing thing out of this story, I think. Is like, whoa, that like kind of interesting. Like, obviously we're never going to get to the point where we tear down a pyramid to like check, and it's really hard to like look. You can't get into the interior of all that, but I was like, makes you think, makes you wonder, you know?
Really make you tink.
Really make you tink. So entrances to subterranean cities are said to exist around the vast Amazon basin, for example, connecting the outside world with the lost city of El Dorado, which is, of course, the city of gold. So they're saying that the city of gold is also not above land. It's subterranean in possibly like Agartha. And, I mean, who knows? That could be the same for Atlantis at this point, you know?
Well, some people consider them one and the same.
Exactly. Oh, you're right. You brought that up on your Antarctica episode.
Oh, yeah.
So, the capital of the inner world, and therefore of the whole world, is said to be a city called Shambhala, where the king of the world resides, and his court of advanced beings teach some of humanity about science, art, religion, and philosophy. So now they're going on to say that there have been people that have, traveled down there, possibly like Einstein. And, he brought back some of the knowledge, or maybe just some of the Buddhists and stuff like that, which is, kind of stealing our thunder a little bit. But, hey, I give it a pass because it sounds beautiful and cool and smart, just like me, and that is my hometown. So
You could go as far to say it's sexy, too.
it's a horny village. It's for sure the horniest of all nations because, like I said, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. When nothing gets you hornier than being under 4 miles of dirt.
Oh, yeah. Gets me going.
So as time went on and people began to become more and more curious about finding out and proving once and for all that there was a center of the earth, the development of many different scientific instruments were thought to finally solve this riddle. In 1692, Edmund Halley, yes, the scientist the comet was named after, and we actually had a Halley's Comet episode. He came out with a theory concerning his ever-changing compass readings and the yearly changes in the Earth's poles. So, as you know, or I don't know if you know this, but the Earth's poles do switch every once in a while, apparently. I don't know the science behind it, but it has to do something with magnetic pulling, and they switch. They don't be staying in the... fucking magnets. How do they work?
Who knows?
So Halley believed that the Earth's hollowness was to blame for this. He believed that we were standing on an outermost shell of the Earth with 3 more concentric shells within, and that the poles of these inner shells were throwing off our magnetic field. He also believed, though, that there was undoubtedly life flourishing deep down within the Earth. So not only did he think that there was like a kind of like, like the little spheres things where like they're kind of like going in different directions, and I don't the thing they strap astronauts in and they turn it on to do like G-force type things, those things. That's what I'm kind of picturing on the inner workings of the Earth, where there's like 3 spheres, each one smaller than the next, and they're just kind of turning different ways. And he thought that was throwing off our magnetic poles. But it's also weird to think that a scientist of like his repute can be like, oh, there's also like life down there that's like flourishing, and you're like, oh fuck, like this guy thought that's kind of crazy. So although this was just a theory, many after Halley took his theory and tried to make it fact. And in 1781, French adventurer Leclerc Milford led a journey with hundreds of Creek Indians to a series of caverns near the Red River above the junction of the Mississippi River. What are you laughing at?
What the fuck is a Greek Indian?
No, it's a creek, like a waterway.
No, I got you on the other end there.
Fuck you, dude. You know that when I type, my C's and G's look very similar.
They're pretty close. It's hard to hit the right one sometimes.
Pretty close. My typing is just off the fucking rails.
Big old hot dog fingers.
So like I said, they found these caverns near the Red Rivers above the junction of the Mississippi River. And according to Milford, the original Creek Indian ancestors are believed to have emerged out of the surface of the earth in ancient times from the caverns. Milford also claimed that the caverns they saw could easily contain 15,000 to 20,000 families.
Wow.
Which is fucking wild. So he was saying that this was like one of the entrances, and it possibly like collapsed or something like that, and they weren't able to like, they lived within the caves, but they weren't able to get back into the earth, and that's where they originally came from. And this story is probably the weirdest by far, that it got up this high, this theory, because now we think about it, we go, obviously this is like ridiculous, but back then it was like, we don't know how anything works. Like, it could be a possibility, you know what I mean? So it's not that outlandish. It's only outlandish because we know what the center of the earth is like, made of now. It's kind of like a whole flat earther thing, where it's like, back then, yeah, sure, you could think the earth was flat because there's no way of telling. But now it's like, I don't know.
No. It's flat.
I mean, yeah.
It is.
Flat.
We don't need to get into this argument because we know it is.
So this story goes on to say that John Quincy Adams, son of second President John Adams, I did not know that, also fell under the spell of the hollow earth theory. At the time, exploring and new discovery was all the rage. So when Adams heard about a possible undiscovered planet within our planet, he became very interested. Although many scientists believe in this theory, one man caught his attention. A self-education scientist and ex-soldier named John Clevis Sims Jr. was making the rounds across the United States, speaking to crowds about his hollow earth theory. The purpose of his lectures wasn't just to educate his audience, though. He was trying to recruit 100 brave companions to make the treacherous journey with him into the hollow earth. Sims believed, as other hollow earth theorists did, that there were chasms in the ground at the north and south poles that served as gateways to the center of the earth, and he planned to launch an expedition in Siberia using sleighs pulled by reindeers to get to the North Pole. So his plan was to take 100 people, throw them on sleighs with reindeers, get up to Siberia, and find this hole and go into the earth. Even though it is believed that John Quincy Adams had one of the highest IQs out of any president, his beliefs were strong with this theory, strong enough for Adams to approve the expedition into the hollow earth. So literally it got up to the president, and the president said, we will allocate the funds so you guys can go on this expedition to find a hollow earth, because he wanted like the recognition for this, you know what I mean? He wanted his legacy, which I'm about to talk about. But you might think this is a weird thing for a president to approve of, but Adams saw this as an opportunity to leave his legacy with a new discovery, of course. He was also interested in the thrill of discovery and was curious to see what natural resources would be found beneath the earth. As for Sims, though, the explorer who was going there, he sought to become extremely wealthy by establishing trade with the mole people.
Yeah, mole people, they're behind everything. They're right next to those lizard people.
And if you don't know what mole people are, it's it's kind of a broader term. This is they're colonies or communities of people that live beneath the surface of the outer crust. So some people think of them as people who actually look like moles. Some people think that they are beautiful people. Some people think that they're just people covered in moles. Maybe that's where they got their name from, right?
Yeah, just real moley-like.
Mole guys. So, sadly though, John Quincy Adams did not win re-election and was replaced in office by Andrew Jackson. And Jackson was not as fond of wasting taxpayer money on such an endeavor, so he canceled the project altogether. But there was one more hope in the form of John Cleves Sims Jr. colleague. I'm going to say that again. That was kind of confusing. But there was one more hope in the form of John Cleves Sims Jr.'s colleague, Jeremiah Reynolds. So, in 1838, American explorer Jeremiah Reynolds delivered lectures on Hollow Earth with John Cleves Sims and argued for an expedition as well. But after the cancellation of the North Pole trip to Siberia, and also the death of John Cleves Sims, since he died, Reynolds soon thought of a new idea to find the entrance. Reynolds quickly gained approval to attend the Great U.S. Exploring Expedition of 1838 to 1842, which was, I'm guessing it was just like a ship that went around and tried to do like as much mapping and exploring as they could and try to find like new things. And it was probably so the U.S. could get recognition for discovering things, or if you discover it, then you could lay claim to it and stuff. And one of the places they were going was the South Pole. And as we discussed, there was an entrance at the North Pole and the South Pole. So he got approval to actually join this group. But once again, as luck would have it, he was soon kicked off the expedition because he offended and agitated too many of the fellow explorers.
See what happens when you're an asshole?
Why are you saying that like that to me?
No, I'm just saying in general. It has nothing to do with you.
I thought you were coming at me for a second.
No.
I'm not allowed to go exploring anymore?
You're not a part of the turbo team.
You can't run! Walk! Sorry. So
It's okay. It was justified.
So sadly, the entrance has never been found to the Hollow Earth, but there was once an attempt to make a new entrance in 1970 in Murmansk, Russia, as geologists decided to try and see how deep of a hole could be dug. It was called the Kola, Kola, the Kola Super Deep Borehole, and officially ended in 1992. That's right, it took 22 years to drill, and guess how deep they got? I was actually surprisingly underwhelmed by this number. I was like, it's kind of hard because it's such a low number, but such a great length.
120 feet.
They got 7.5 miles. Which
how many feet is that?
Exactly. You're asking the wrong guy. I've never ran.
I need it in feet.
A 5K or a marathon. Maybe I could tell you if I was a racer.
So wait, how many miles did you say?
7.5 miles. Which is crazy because a lot of the time, I'll let you do the math, but a lot of the time when they go like, "Oh, we're a mile under sea level, we're a mile up in the air," I go, that doesn't seem like a lot. Like I don't know how high like a plane usually flies at altitude. I know they change altitudes, but they always say mile high club, you know? So I'm like, yeah. I guess 7.5 miles is very deep, but it just doesn't seem that deep when you're on the freeway and you're like, oh, that was 7.5 miles. That wasn't that far.
Yeah.
It is really fucking deep.
So that would be close to 40,000 feet.
Holy shit.
39,600.
Now, is that the same as a league under the sea?
Well, now let's look at that.
But while you're doing that math, or trying to figure out what a league is, they got 7.5 miles, and they decided to give up after the temperature reached 360 degrees Fahrenheit at that around that point. And they also stopped because the temperature is estimated it says temperature is estimated to be 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit at the crust/mantle interface and 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit at the outer core of the Earth. This is still the deepest hole ever dug by humans, yet we are still unable to reach our fellow mole friends or their beautiful hollow Earths. So, wait, did you find out how deep a league was?
So I typed it in, and it says 1 inch equals 4.57163 E minus 6. And I don't think that it understood what I was trying to say there.
Yeah, because I don't even understand what the fuck you just said.
Yeah, so then underneath that it said people also ask, what does 20,000 leagues under the sea means? And it says, a league is an old-fashioned measurement of distance that is roughly equivalent to 3 miles. So 3 times 2,000 or 20,000 would be 60,000 miles. So yeah, so I'm assuming a nautical mile going underneath is 3 miles.
But that's not a nautical mile is not the same as a league.
Well, okay, that's what I mean is a 1 league is 3 miles.
Oh, what the fuck? That makes that book completely unrealistic. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, fuck books. Burn them all. Burn them all.
So, I'll end it with this. Maybe one day, someone will be walking through the Siberian tundra and accidentally stumble upon the actual entrance to the hollow Earth. Let's just all pray that this lucky soul will decide to come back and tell us about their discovery so we can finally unite with the mole people and save this planet once and for all.
You think the mole people and the lizard people are friends or enemies?
No,
I feel like they're enemies.
I feel like they're enemies too. I think mole people are good, lizard people are bad.
They're just waiting for the day when they need to come up and save us.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're a beautiful race of people and you're smart and you're peaceful, you have to hide because one, everybody's gonna want what you have. Everybody's gonna want your knowledge. You're a threat to everybody because you're the most popular. You're not
I hate everybody who is more popular and more successful than me and better looking than me. I hate all of them.
Exactly. And not only are they the prettiest girl at the high school, but they're also the smartest and the most popular. So, like, they got headhunters. Like, people are going to be jealous. So they had
those stats are catastrophic. You can't compete
with that. And, of course, lizard people, the only thing they got going for them is that they could live for a long time. They're cold. They're
No,
ugly.
they can shapeshift, you know, for sure. But that's not who they are.
Yeah, they think they're smart because they run a government, but like we all know how.
We all know about the government.
Don't get me started on the government. I'll tell you about government, Monton. Anyway, so yeah, I think they're great enemies, and I would love to see that fight. But we all know the mole people don't want to fight. They just want to get rid of the problems. But you know, if the lizard people force their hand, I bet the mole people will fucking get their claws out.
Oh
ready.
yeah.
They're ready. They're training down there.
What
Send
else would they
Sylvester
be doing?
Stallone down there right now.
You think Sly? You think Sly might be a mole man?
Oh,
Maybe
my
they've
God.
got a few guys up here for intel.
Oh man, if that's not a mole man, then I don't know what a mole man is. He's barely able to speak our language.
Yes,
like,
he's got to be one of my favorite Instagram follows.
Oh, he's great.
I love Sylvester.
Spreading positivity, just like the mole people. It makes sense. It all comes together in the end.
It's great.
Hashtag Sylvester Rocky is mole man. Let's start that hashtag.
It makes sense though, because the mole men, they dig through what?
Rock.
There you go.
Yeah, their whole lives are Rocky. Of course, when he writes a fucking script, what is he gonna name it? It was either Rocky or Dirt.
And you know Rocky's last name, right?
Balboa, which is
Sounds
like a snake.
Well, it sounds pretty close to Boulder.
Oh, I was gonna say Balboa, like a reptile, like the ones they want to
Like
fucking punch.
Like a boa constrictor?
Exactly, you get it.
Yeah, so it's a little play on, because he's like, I like my boulders and I hate my snakes, so I'm gonna combine them.
Should we delete this podcast and burn it so that we don't get like killed?
Well,
We might start a war.
But let's have a safe word that we can text each other. You text me the word microwave, and I will microwave my laptop and my phone, and
Okay,
the evidence will be gone.
And you text me, help, the mole people and lizard people are in my house. You need to help me destroy all of my belongings that have vital information on them. Just text me that.
Okay.
I'll know what it means.
I'll add in, go to my apartment. You know where the key's hidden. Get all of the USB and hard drives. Microwave them. That's going to be difficult because I don't own a microwave. So you're going to have to find a microwave.
Heat up that stove.
But don't drive because they'll find a way to blow up your car. So you're going to have to jog. We don't live too far away from each other. This is all in text, remember. And
they're like the mob now. Fuck. They can just blow up your car and shit.
they're basically the cartel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm done with my story. Do you want to tell your story now?
I guess that's what comes next. So now, Tobin, let me ask you: have you ever experienced a situation where the best luck possible resulted in the worst luck ever?
I can't rack my brain quick enough to think of something. But do you have like an example?
Well, it sounds like a catch-22 or a trick question.
Like you win a scratcher and you go to like turn it in and you get like $500 off the scratcher, but while you're in there, somebody robs the store and shoots you in the leg.
You are eerily close to my story there.
Are you serious?
Yes. Well, today I'm going to be telling you the story of Tonda Dickerson and her tale of the worst good luck ever.
Ooh.
So, 20 years ago, a man named Edward Seward took his cheap ass to the Grand Bay Waffle House in Mobile County in Alabama, where he set out to have a big old stack of waffles and enjoy some breakfast. Being a cheap son of a bitch, he opted for a different alternative for tipping his waitress, and that was to leave a lottery ticket for her. And this lady, his waitress, would be Tonda Dickerson.
Oh my god, what a fucking like weird move to do. It's just like that would be just like the equivalent of giving somebody like a scrap of paper. I mean, I would have thought that it would have been he was such a cheap ass that it was already like a used lottery ticket and he was like pretending that it was, but like fuck, yeah, I mean, that's how much was breakfast?
I don't know. How much do you think a Waffle House in 1999 would be?
Like $4 for like some waffles and some eggs or something, and he didn't have any extra money. Like, how the fuck did he get there?
Yeah, apparently this was his. He did this. He was a usual there, and he did this every time.
Oh, what a piece of shit. He's like, it's like my quirk. It's like, it's cute. And everyone's like, I don't want to serve that guy. And he's like, no, it's cute. It's a thing I do.
Which one? Which one's the quirk? The lottery ticket or the part when you try to grab all the waitress's ass?
It's all quirks. It's just kind of like my quirky personality.
I'm so
Just
funny and unique. Look at me.
I'm just a creepy quirk.
So Tonda was a divorced woman in her late 20s, working her job at the Waffle House, and never expected her life to change that Sunday, March 7th, 1999. But sure enough, nothing would be the same a week later. Tonda won the prize of $10 million.
Oh, best tipper in the game. I take it back.
Yeah. And that was the lottery was through the Florida lottery. So they're in Alabama, but it was a Florida lottery ticket or something. I'm not entirely sure how that all works.
Well, they do have like nation and then like state. They have like the California lottery and then they have like the United States lottery. And the California lottery is like the state to state's always smaller, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So, being a smart lady, Tonda opted to receive $375,000 over 30 years.
No,
so she
you're
had
not
it.
supposed to do that.
No, I think you are.
No, because I saw a guy who worked. He was on the news and he was from Shark Tank. I don't remember his name. He was like the bald guy, and he was saying you're always supposed to take the lump sum because then you can invest it and then you could get like returns on your money quicker than if you get like. It's either the options are lump sum, which you get a lot, you get like a big chunk of money, but it's less money, or you could get paid out over a certain number of years, couple like you said, $30,000 a year, but you get more money in the long run because it's like over years of getting it. But I hear you're supposed to take like the lump sum and then invest it or something, but I don't know.
I don't know. The article I read said that it like economic and like finance advisors suggest you do what she did.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll never have that problem, so I mean.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. And the odds are, the 12 people that listen to this podcast, I don't think any of us are going to win the lottery anytime soon.
But if you do, don't listen to us.
Yeah. Or you could, help fund the podcast.
Why don't you just give us a tip? Give us a little tip.
Yeah, just give us a little tip there.
We'll serve you waffles.
And so, like I was saying, at that, this late 20-year-old was set for life, unlikely to have to work another day in her life, unless she chose to. But what was it that Sean Puff Daddy Combs said?
Mo money, mo problems.
Mo money, mo problems. As Dickerson saw herself facing multiple legal battles with friends, colleagues, the IRS, and even Edward Seward, the guy who gave her the ticket.
Oh my God!
Now
that's why you're supposed to collect with like a mask on.
Exactly. You're not supposed to show your identity. Well, that's what I was about to say was it comes to no surprise with lottery winnings comes fear. While most people attempt to hide their identity, there have been many cases of people who weren't so lucky. There was one man from Georgia who said it himself, "Why retire when I can transform this money and invest $3 million of his winnings to boost a local meth ring?" It didn't work out for him. Yeah, it didn't work out for him.
I thought it was
Shark
Boost
Tank.
Mobile.
Shark Tank.
I didn't say invest in meth.
Well, it's a local meth ring, so he's supporting the local businesses.
Business. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then there's also...
Did they name the meth ring Boost?
No, they named the meth ring the Meth Ring.
Lord of the Meth Ring? Okay.
Unsuspicious Meth Ring.
LC.
And so then there was another man named Urooj Khan. It's Urooj. So I'm just going to say Urooj Khan, and his last name was Khan, and move on from there, who was unfortunately poisoned the day after winning $1 million. A Michigan winner named Amanda Clayton was found dead from a drug overdose less than a year after winning $735,000. and a New Jersey man named Americo Lopes, who a jury decided had cheated his coworkers out of their share of the 38 and a half million dollar jackpot from the lottery pool.
Oh,
And
he did a lottery pool.
yeah, so these are just a few examples, and it's also noted these are all from the year 2012, just alone.
What the fuck? Weird
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, so although Dickerson wouldn't have as much tragic, as much of a tragic end as most of these people, she had her fair share of drama. One of Dickerson's biggest problems came from her fellow employees at the Waffle House. In court filings from this lawsuit, her coworkers claimed that any earnings from the lottery ticket given by a customer as a tip would be shared equally. But since the tip was given directly to her, she believed it was all hers.
I mean, to be completely fair, everyone's just being fucking greedy at that point. Like, she was the one getting fucked over, you know, day after day when he would walk in there with losing lottery tickets and hand them to her, and she was like, okay, that's fine. And everyone's like, yeah, don't worry about, like, don't share that with us, obviously. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think it's kind of bullshit. I get why they're upset, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's hard because I feel like if I was working at that Waffle House and there was like a couple $100,000 on the table for me or millions, then I'd be like, fucking give me some. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get where the coworkers are coming from for sure.
Yeah.
So during a Mobile, Alabama circuit court case in April of 1999, a jury took 45 minutes, not very long, to decide against Dickerson, and her lawyer described the coworkers as, in quotes, rats coming out of the woodwork.
Wait, so they said that they would give the money to the coworkers?
Yeah, so the circuit court case said that the coworkers should get the money. Or not the money, but some money.
And now, like, there are people being like, I worked there for, like, I did, like, a shift, like, that week, and it goes week to week, and, you know, like, stuff like that, where people who used to work there is like, wait, I worked there when she was working there, or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the four coworkers had also received lottery tickets as tips in the past, and testified that the whole staff, including Dickerson, had planned to share the winnings from any lottery ticket given as a tip, since it was a frequent move made by Edward Seward. So, like, they had conversations in the past being like, oh, since we're just getting tipped this bullshit, like, whatever, if something comes of it, we'll split it.
Yeah, I would be like, prove it. I never said that.
Yeah. So Dickerson would be offered a settlement that would give her 3 of the 10 million, but she would turn that down.
Wait, why?
She wanted it all.
Oh, I see. So she didn't. Oh, that was like the settle out of court. That's the settlement that they're like, you'll divide 7 million with the rest of them, and then you keep 3. And she's like, nope, I'm gonna fight it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So Dickerson appealed to the Alabama Supreme Court, which reversed the circuit court ruling that any agreement with the Waffle House waitresses was unenforceable under Alabama law because it was founded on gambling consideration.
Ooh, okay, good for her.
Yeah, so she had a good lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Who probably got $1 million out of it.
Yeah.
So
like, I'll pay you $1 million if I keep 9 of it. Fuck.
Yeah. So in February 2002, almost 3 years after the ticket was claimed, a Mobile. I'm always bad at reading. Mobile County Circuit Judge threw out a suit that was brought against Dickerson by Edward Seward, who claimed there was also an agreement with Dickerson that she'd have to buy him a new truck if the ticket was a winner.
What the fuck? What a piece of shit.
So he's probably like, oh, here's sweetie, here's your tip, and if you win, you gotta buy me a new truck.
Yeah, and she's like, haha, okay, you piece of shit. How about you tip me real money? And he's like, nope.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
That same damn week that Seward was denied by a judge, Dickerson's ex-husband, which she had been divorced to since 1997, 2 years before she got the ticket, was shot.
Oh.
But why was he shot? He was attempting to kidnap Dickerson.
Oh, fuck.
So Stacy Martin, that's his name. His name is Stacy. Now in his late 40s, lunged at Dickerson while she was driving her truck in Jackson County, Mississippi. And this is a quote: "All the time that they were driving, he told her that he was going to kill her." And that's what the sheriff said during the event. And they drove on the highway 90 into Jackson County, where he took her to the boat launch at the Bayou Heron, which is an isolated area.
Oh, wow.
So
Fuck.
during the trip to the isolated boat launch, Dickerson's cell phone rang, but Martin wouldn't let her answer it, saying if she did, he would kill her. The two arrived at the boat launch area, and Dickerson begged Martin to let her go. During her cries, her phone started to ring again, and Dickerson told Martin if he didn't let her answer her cell phone, people would get suspicious and start looking for her.
Nice move.
So,
nice move. I like that
yeah.
move.
Oh, this is even close to her best move. I mean, she's still sitting on her Stacy's playing checkers and she's playing chess here. And Martin decided to let her answer the phone, but what Martin didn't know was Dickerson had made an important purchase of safety, knowing that all the money painted a big red target on her back.
Mm-hmm.
And reaching into her purse to get her cell phone, she pulled out a old Western movie move and whipped out a .22 caliber handgun and shot her ex-husband Martin on the right side of his chest.
Oh, fuck. That reminds me of my favorite gun grab in movie history, which is from I think it's Naked Gun movies. I don't know which one, but he has his hands up. Leslie Nielsen has his hands up, and somebody's about to shoot him, and he goes, "Before I die, can I ask you one favor?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And he goes, "I have a wedgie in my butt crack right now, and I'd like to pull it out so I'm at least comfortable when I die." And he goes, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And he reaches back and grabs this gun, and I was like, fuck, I gotta remember that. That's a good one.
Those movies are classics. I miss that man.
Yeah, he's great.
So quickly after being shot, Stacy Martin lunged and unarmed Dickerson, taking her gun, and told her that he was going to kill her. But luckily, Dickerson was able to convince Martin to seek immediate medical attention for his gunshot wound, and it worked. The two went to the closest hospital where police were called, but it didn't end there for Dickerson.
Oh, no.
For more than a decade, the IRS fought with Dickerson on how much she owed to them. In March of 2012, so 13 years after she won the money, attorneys with the Birmingham firm of Sorot and Permut successfully argued before the U.S. tax court that the IRS was wrong to demand about $1 million in gift tax on top of a income tax.
Oh, because the piece of paper was handed from one person to another, they said that's a gift tax as well.
Exactly, because she was given the
honestly,
the thing.
Fuck the IRS. I know I'm not the first one to say it, and they're probably gonna audit me now, whatever. No, but like seriously, that's so fucked up. They're just trying to like, how much money do they need? Where they're just like going after somebody, and they're like, oh, we're gonna find a technicality. I'm like, why don't you just fucking spend your money better? Like, why the fuck do you need so much all the time? Like, I have none.
Don't you understand the debt we're in as a nation?
Exactly. Oh, me? Fuck you. Are you backing up the IRS?
You know it. Love them.
Mm-mm.
I love you guys. Maybe send more money next time.
Yeah, you know what's also weird? That guy knew that he couldn't kill his ex-wife, because if he killed his ex-wife, he would get no money. He's like not in a will with her probably anymore since they're divorced, and he would just be doing it out of spite, and people, that would be the first person they would go to fucking look for. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's probably the ex-husband or the husband that did it, and then they'd just find like, a gunshot wound in his shoulder and be like, yeah, that was from something else. Like he would have been fucked. He would have been life in prison. For sure.
Yeah,
and had no money.
It's safe to say Mr. Stacy Martin was not very smart.
You can say that again. You can say that again.
So they also they decided that Dickerson gave most of her winnings away to her family throughout a business they had set up. So she actually didn't even have that much money left for them to take. The court ruled that Dickerson's winnings in the Florida Lotto ticket was only a small fraction of its actual face value at the time, and it was taxable because of competing claims for the money that was filed by the Waffle House waitresses.
So
They dropped it.
okay. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I mean, fuck.
it took them for fucking, it was a long time, and I'm sure she spent an ass load of money on lawyers to fight them.
Yeah, they're relentless. It's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why do even people play the lottery
Yeah.
if you get half of it? Like, who's this really for? Like, what is the lottery for? It's for the IRS to fucking make money. It's not for anybody else to make money. I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
there are the chosen few who win and get it, but even then, they lose half of it. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. So in the end, media stopped following Tonda Dickerson, and the last known whereabouts tell us that she is a poker dealer at the Golden Nugget Casino in Biloxi. I'm not sure where that is.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say Reno, Nevada, because I've been to that Golden Nugget.
Oh, is it a chain?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool. Do they have good chicken nuggets?
No, they're made of gold.
Oh, well,
Break-
that's gonna break some teeth.
Real fuck
It is
up your fillings.
it's a soft metal, but boy, they'll still mess you up pretty good.
Wait, so does she have money or does she not have money? I know you said there wasn't a lot left, but maybe she just likes casinos, right? She's just a car dealer because that's what she's good at. You need a purpose in
Yeah,
life.
I don't think there's any of it left.
Darn it.
So take this story as a word of warning. Sometimes it's the closest people you know who will try to clean you out, get a truck, or try to kill you if you walk away from a Waffle House with $10 million in your pocket.
It's true. And I've always said this, and I stand by this. I've gotten in numerous conversations or arguments with one of our buddies, Mike, and he said, if you won the lottery, you would immediately...
Mike?
Yeah, Big Mike. You would immediately move out of your apartment and get a nicer apartment. And just because I'm a stubborn asshole and the principal, I go, no, I wouldn't. But I kind of stand by that in a weird way, too, because like you said, the family are the ones and like the people who know you go like, hey, can I get a loan? Can I borrow some money? So the first thing you got to do is when you get that money is to take out, just enough to get by for the year and then just put it all into like a CD or something like that so you can't touch it. And it'll like accrue money and stuff like that. But that means that if somebody comes up to you and goes, hey, I need like $20,000 for like, I want to start this business. You're like, I can't touch my money for a year. And then
I don't know,
like,
man.
I don't know.
I would definitely move into an apartment that had hot water, dishwasher, like a washer and dryer,
Less bugs.
water pressure, less brugs.
Less bugs.
And
that rat that crawls on my chest in the middle of the night licks.
Oh no, he's coming with me.
At least I don't have to brush my teeth no more because he gets all the stuff out in between. No flossing for me. I nicknamed him Floss.
He's got real good, sharp little claws. He gets in places no floss will reach.
He got a sharp little tongue too. I'll tell you something.
I tell you what, I would take some of that money and I would send Floss to dental school.
Oh, he likes Stuart Little, but gross. Oh, God. Wow, well, that was quite a story. Holy shit. I mean, did Stacy get, like, put in prison or jail for kidnapping or what? I assume
No, they
so.
said that, like, basically no charges were put on or anything. I think he walked away.
I mean, she did get to shoot him in the shoulder. That's pretty dope.
And it is Alabama.
Yep. That happens. It just happened. We call that a first date. An Alabama first date. Anyway. All right, well, I think that wraps up our stories for today. So if you guys want any more information about Camp Strange, you go to campstrange.com, and we have all the hyperlinks for our social media there. If you guys want to send us something via email, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to rate, review, and subscribe, we would love that as well. You can do that on Apple, iTunes, Podcast, whatever. And if you guys want to check out any of the merch, we have merch too, mugs and shirts, merch. You go check that out as well. And David, what else do we have for these fine Fine young and old people, whoever's listening to this.
I've got the Silver Surfer's hair. That's right.
Ooh.
You think he's bald, but he actually grows a full head of hair every night. He has to shave that off every morning. I've got it.
You gotta shave it, or it just looks bad. It looks like, oh, there's where the hair used to. Oh, he has a full head of hair. He doesn't even have like a horseshoe.
No, he's just got a full head of hair.
Oh,
but
wow.
it's silver.
Because he goes faster with no hair.
Yeah,
he's
and
like a
it's
swimmer, Olympic swimmer.
it's real nasty because it's from all the seawater because he's a surfer.
Oh, that's true. Got barnacles in that bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I have a recorder that plays Hot Cross Buns, and it makes your ears bleed when you do it.
Ah.
Fun.
Yeah. I've got a high resolution photo of ketchup.
I have a Hot Wheel track, and you could put it up, lean it up against your dresser, and you could start it. You could put the Hot Wheel up on that part, so it makes the full loop. Because if you don't get enough speed, you're not going to do the full loop. You know?
Yeah, no, we all know where you're
Don't
coming
use
from.
the school bus. Use the Corvette. It's faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a Lego diorama of the Battle of Canyon Creek of 1877.
I have a Kung Pao chicken. I have a Kung Pao chicken.
Just one?
One.
Is it one chicken or is it
One pepper.
one pepper?
It's the pepper.
It's one It's just the pepper?
It has chicken sauce on it.
Oh, okay.
Take what you can get.
That's what you got to do. I've got an owl made of money.
What's he say?
He says cha-ching.
I knew he was gonna say cha-ching. Fuck.
What else would he say?
Who has more money?
Oh.
Ooh, fun.
Like that.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, I think we're done. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in and listening, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we definitely enjoyed it. So, David, do you have anything to say before we leave these fine folks?
If you find a random thumb drive on the ground, do not plug it in your computer. It could be riddled with viruses and things to monitor you.
Viri.
It could take all of your photos and post them to Instagram.
Viri. That's the plural virus.
Oh, okay. Viri.
Viri. Viri College.
Isn't that a type of wine?
At the College Technical Institute. Oh, that's DeVry.
Oh.
Anyway, don't forget to stay strange.